From the Vanguard newspaper, we'll flip over to the Punch newspaper. No leader can fix Nigeria with 1999 constitution. On Japa, why I chose Nigeria over the Netherlands. Truth Econ. Missing man found dead near Ogun stream. Attempted suicide. Obafemi Awolowo University considers waiver for extra year students. 1.3 trillion naira fraud. Okowa detention sparks call for proof of ex-governors. Governor poll. Shetima, APC, bigwigs storm Ondo. PDP campaigns for Ajayi. EFCC seizes Okowa's passports, grants him bail. Armed men attack Obajana transmission station, destroy power transformers. Still on the stories making headlines on the Punch newspaper this morning. Gunmen kill two soldiers at Abia Army checkpoint. Attempted suicide. Obafemi Awolowo University considers waiver for extra year students. Missing man found dead near Ogun Stream. Delta woman backs 5 years jail for attempted murder. 94 squatters nabbed on Lagos rail trackers. 94 squatters nabbed on Lagos rail tracks. 13 Enugu College students suspended for bullying colleague. CIG Motors inks deal on 2,000 electric vehicles deployment. NRC expands Abuja Kaduna train services. MBC, Wimbees, support female entrepreneurs with 1 million naira grant. Nigeria's $700 billion mining potential draws global interest. Libel, Kanu NMPP share denies knowledge of Kawu's letter. Opebolu swears in SSG Attorney General. Probe Obaseki's financial dealing. APC Transmission Committee urges Opebolu. Probe Obaseki's financial dealing. APC Transition Committee urges Opebolu. 1.3 trillion naira fraud. Okowa's detention sparks calls for probe of ex-governors. Tinubu congratulates Opebolu, urges swift action for Edo's growth. That's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. From the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to the Daily Post newspaper. Patients, relatives groan as power disconnection cripples UCH. Stakeholders raise concerns as non-communicable diseases claim 684,000 Nigerians. Falana knocks Wike over car house gifts to judges. US President-elect Trump names Marco Rubio Secretary of State. Adamawa establishes Digital Academy. I am not worried by EFCC invitation. Okowa. ANPE warns of surge in fake fuel imports into Nigeria, urges a presidential action. Makinde presents a 678 billion naira budget to Oyo Assembly. P&ID case. Nigerian government inaugurates committee to audit gas memorandum of understandings. Chanties around Kuramo waters to be served evacuation notice. Lagos government. Ondo Guba. Tinubu canvasses support for Ayedatiwa. Fubara approves creation of new judicial divisions of State High Court. That's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Remember that you're listening to newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. You can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-6579-6599. From the Daily Post newspaper, we'll flip over to the Nation newspaper. On the Nation newspaper this morning, $30 billion investments attracted in 17 months. Federal government targets $10 billion for stable power. OPay grants 12 million naira scholarship to 40 ABU students. NMPCL, Dangote signed gas supply deal. NMPCL removes the CFO, announces 3 appointments. APC's confidence vote for Obadan leadership in Owan West, East. Shetima to electorate, reciprocates Tinubu's gesture, vote APC. PDP will stand against election malpractice, says Atiku. Ondo will savour development under APC. Stakeholders inspect sensitive materials before distribution. 6 hospitalized as thugs attack PDP supporters. Your shenanigans won't deter our victory, APC tells PDP. Labaja, we lost one of our best officers, says Ribadu. Lukarawas terrorists will be flushed out soon, says Ribadu. Alleged 27 billion naira fraud. Court reserves ruling in ex-Taraba governor's suit challenging jurisdiction. Why Nigeria must operate through federalism by Anyoko. Wabot explains issues on $35 million refinery deal. You are listening to newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. We'll now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspapers. Please stay with us.
Challenges of documenting memories in the 21st century is gone. When you have EBEONADI 103.5 FM, here, what are you celebrating today? Birthdays, wedding anniversary, traditional wedding, chieftaincy conferment, or fala, etc. Approach EBEONADI 103.5 FM OGIDI today to document your event. EBEONADI 103.5 FM offers you live coverage of your events on radio and social media, video and photo coverages feature on magazines, photo books, and others, news coverage of political and other events. Take this offer and receive a complete coverage. For more information, call or WhatsApp 08065796599 or you visit EBEONADI 103.5 FM OGIDI opposite Obunike Boys inside the Ovin Residency Hotel OGIDI.
Diocese on the Niger, Anglican Communion, St. Michael and All Angels Anglican Church, OGIDI, cordially invites you to her parish inauguration and induction of pioneer parish priest, Reverend Chukwuemeka Olise. Date, Sunday, 17th November 2024, 9 a.m. By His Lordship, the Right Reverend Dr. Owen Chetozimokulu, JP, Bishop on the Niger. Highlights, fundraising and cutting of inauguration cake. Signed, Okechukwu Abog, Secretary, Planning Committee. Chukwuka Okafo, Chairman, Planning Committee. Reverend Chukwuemeka Olise, Priest. Venerable Sunday Okafo, Parish Priest. Venerable Frank Obi, Archdeacon, OGIDI Archdeacon. Glory be to God.
Vacancy. Are you a DJ? Do you speak English and Igbo language fluently? Submit your CV and the letter of application at EBEONADI 103.5 FM OGIDI, opposite Omunike Boys, inside Residency Hotel Biofil OGIDI, on or before Friday, 15th of November 2024. Residency Hotels Leofino Ogidi. Ogidi's #1 place for all type of events. Burunia Dewa from corporate to social gathering or any type of parties, even end of year parties on the club. We have air-conditioned hall and outdoor space of a very good capacity. When Neviano, come, let us celebrate your event in style. Residency Hotel, Leofin OGIDI. If you are somebody with a zibote taste, when Emmanuel back in EDTR, I want delicious meals, drinks, and spirits brewed in different parts of the world. For booking, call 081 45 678901. One more. Come, let's make your event come through the way it's dream or your plan of wire. Residency Hotels Leofino, Gidi's best place for premium events. Ask for an amount again.
Oge ndị ime ahịa bụ nnekwu ohere ewepụtara maka ịkwalite ebe ife mmetụ aka gị ma ụlọ azụmahịa gị. Mara na ihe dị mma n'anya bụ nwanne. Kedu uru oge ndị ime ahịa ga-abara gị?
Uru oge ndị ime ahịa ga-abara gị bụ site n'oge ndị ime ahịa, ị ga-enweta nnukwu ohere akpọrọ diskaụnt n'ọnụ bekee maka ịkwalite ebe azụmahịa gị. Mara na ya bụ ohere ga-amalite mgbe ọbụla ebe ọ na-adị nwuchiri kpọmkwem n'ime ahịa.
Kedụzi ihe ị na-eche? Gbapụ ya ọsọ kpọtụrụ ndị 103.5 FM n'akara ekwentị ndị a na 08065796599, ọzọkwakwa na 08065796599. Oge ndị ime ahịa, oge nnekwu ohere.
EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Napapoa Production. Police for Vigilante. My business. When I was telling the ATJ radio drama, Erico. ATJ radio drama, Erico, Ghana Dialogue, every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. Broadcast on Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Now, EBEONADI 103.5 FM.
If you move and finish your business,
You're welcome back to Newspaper Headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 08065796599. We are on to the Nation newspaper. Wabote explains issues on $35 million refinery deal. US, France to join Nigeria in examining crashed helicopters wreckage. Makinde presents a 678 billion naira 2025 appropriation bill to Oyo Assembly. Okeburu sacks boards of Edo agencies, political appointees. Adeleke seeks approval for 390 billion naira 2025 budget estimate. IBEDC, Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company to UCH. We are open to discussions, flexible payment arrangements. APC condemns a political protest against Matawale. NECO refutes claims of unpaid examiners. Federal High Court to begin end of year vacation December 16th. Rep. Ogara seeks support for Tinubu. Federal government delivers 3 Augustus helicopters to Navy. NIESV log NIESV Lagos branch host fellows. Obaseki adhered to quality service delivery in Edo. Traditionalist partner Oyo government against environmental pollution. Council gives awards to Ogun district youths. Ministers urge journalists to enhance science technology reporting. Gospel musician released debut single. Naji. Let's prioritize Nigeria made goods. That's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. From the Nation newspaper, we'll flip over to This Day newspaper. We will support Nigeria's economic reforms. Saudi Crown Prince Salam tells Tinubu. Cardoso, recapitalization to boost financial inclusions, enhance credit to MSMEs. Total Energies proposes attractive entry cost, market reflective bonuses to grow oil sector. Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, resigns over poor handling of church abuse scandal. Still on the stories making the headlines on This Day newspaper this morning. Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, resigns over poor handling of church abuse scandal. BUA secures a $200 million facility from Afrexim Bank to boost expansion plans. Nigeria grows crude oil output by over 1 million barrels in October. We will support Nigeria's economic reforms, Saudi Crown Prince Salma tells Tinubu. At Okpeboro's swearing in, Tinubu says the nation's hardest days over. Nigeria grows crude oil output by over 1 million barrels in October. Sanwo-Olu congratulates Okpeboro. NSITF disburses 6.6 billion naira compensation to employees, seeks collaboration to enhance workers' welfare. Standard Organization of Nigeria rallies stakeholders amid quality issues in building, construction industry. Presidency, Atiku is undermining Tinubu's government out of envy. That's the much we can take from This Day newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. From This Day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune newspapers. Meet Baron, 18-year-old Trump's son, hailed for strategic role in father's victory. Insecurity, Wike to distribute 50 vehicles to security agencies. Insecurity, Zulum launches summit to address Aramajiri education. US election, 8 key facts about Trump's family ahead White House return. Third term, US constitutional amendment Trump must alter to run again in 2028. Lagos government revokes allocation of unoccupied housing units. Trump appoints White House senior staff. 2027 elections. No chance for Atiku in PDP. Wike. Ondo Guba. Deploy assistive device for people with disabilities voters. Non-governmental organization tells INEC. Ondo Guba. The list Aida Tiwa from INEC list. NMPP's Edema tells court. Federal government selects Gombe for building materials and manufacturing hub in Northeast. Government kill two, abduct two others in Delta community. Governor Opebero swears in SSG Commissioner of Justice. Governor Opebolo swears in SSG, Commissioner of Justice. Toxic media platform, The Guardian pits Elon Musk's X, gives reasons. And that's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. That will also mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 08065796599. We'll now flip over to our WhatsApp portal for reactions. You are listening to newspaper headlines on Airborne at the 103.5 FM. Now, on our WhatsApp portal, we have this message. It's coming from Comrade Manly Oduogo from Odumobosi, and he says, since 1999 till date, all sorts of governments have ridden roughshod over our lives, ground pepper into our eyes, battered our future, dehumanized us, disoriented our perception of ourselves, and reduced us into political pantomimes and messed up our economic lives. One fundamental cause of all these problems: bad leadership, deceptive rudderless, rudderless, incoherent, sheepish, lawless, insensitive, and total corrupt. If one cannot quarrel with this cruel fate, this intolerable irony of being so near greatness and yet being so far from it, I am wondering what one must quarrel with at all. Nigerians, wake up. Manly Oduogo from Odumobosi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We also have this message. This one is coming from Christian, famous Christian. He's joining us from Ifite Village, Aguluzibo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this one. It is coming from Agunabo. He's joining us from Opa Aguluzibo, and he says, "Killing saga, Nigeria and deaf ears towards killings. Now they have tagged it IPOB and ESN, but never find the sponsors, new terrorists that emerge in northern part of the country, and let federal government call for political solution." And Emeka Anyoko saga, with the 1999 constitution, no man can fix Nigeria, is truth with clear view. And he says that because it favors some people and intimidate others, and it also favors our army and some politicians, and gradually killed our education and punish our economy, and assassinating the hope of the common man, increased terrorists and hardship. A lot of people are dying for lack of good food and ill health insurance. We are watching as things unfold. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Agunabo from Ofa Agolozibo. Still on our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message. Is coming from Waluto Patrick from Unteje, and he says, "I want to say that I am optimistic that Okonjo Iweala's second term bid as Director General of WTO is a walkover, as long as the election should be decided by WTO Council. I would have been very pessimistic if the election were to be conducted and the winner decided by the Nigerian electoral body. My argument is hinged on the fact that no election in Nigeria in the recent time has been adjudged to be free, fair, transparent, and credible. Secondly, for Tinubu to ask Nigerians to be patient with him in the midst of biting hardship economy in the country is not acceptable. He should try as much as possible to fix the country or resign honorably. Nigerians are no more ready to accept any excuse from anybody again. This is coming from Waloto Patrick from Monteja. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. On our WhatsApp portal, still, we have this message is coming from Valentine Edene from Mumpo, and it says, Wike should know that causing havoc is not the way to become famous. Either he becomes uh, he becomes athlete or richest man. OP granted a scholarship to 40 students, but Nigerian commercial banks never done anything to the citizens. Rather than deducting from the little money we save in the bank. Being in high rank or high position is not avenue to use to punish the less privileged, but to enhance and bring up profile of the country. Valentine Edene from Mbo, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We also have this message. It is coming from Engineer Ebuka Mwabufo Henry from Amawa Obunike, and he says, I don't know the kind of work EFCC is doing. No, they are okay, they arrest the former governor of Delta State of huge sum of money and he can't give account for now. He is being released just like that. Once you are APC member, you are free from EFCC. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. They have his passport and all of that. So we wash our stains of food. But thank you so much for joining us still. We have this message is coming from Obiora from Okozo. Why corruption persisted in Nigeria, says Obasanjo, because Obasanjo himself refused to know the truth, to say the truth, and fight for the truth. That's why he rules under corruption. He ruled under corruption, and that's why corruption persisted in Nigeria. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Obiora from Okozo. Thank you. Still on our WhatsApp portal, we have this message. It's coming from young grandma from Odumobosi, and she says, until Nigerians seek and humble themselves and ask God for mercy, there is nothing he can do. He cannot do. Okay, he says there is nothing he cannot do. The 1999 Constitution can be mended. Young grandma from Odumobosi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. From our WhatsApp portal, we'll flip over to our SMS portal. We have this message. This one is coming from Godwin from Umumbo. I am a local government area of Anambra State, and he says, nobody can fix Nigeria with 1999 Constitution but Anyoko in order. They said the Constitution is only being used against those that have nobody to speak for them. It's a pity. Which way Nigeria? Godwin from Umumbo. I am a local government area of Anambra State. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. This one is coming from Onyudo from Nimo, Njikoka. And he says, Okowa's aide said his boss was not invited by EFCC for misappropriating the derivation fund. So for what then was he invited? I don't understand this country and her rulers. Onyudo from Nimo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we also have this message. This one is coming from Mayor Onin Jikoka, and he says, tell Wike to rest because he has succeeded in killing PDP. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Well, this is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning once it's 7 o'clock. So keep a date and don't touch the dial of Ebona, the 103.5 FM once it's 8:20 this morning. We'll be back with Birthday Splash. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a blessed morning.
The challenges of documenting memories in the 21st century is gone. When you have EBEONADI 103.5 FM, here, what are you celebrating today? Birthdays, wedding anniversary, traditional wedding, chieftaincy conferment, or fala, etc. Approach EBEONADI 103.5 FM, OGIDI today to document your event. EBEONADI 103.5 FM offers you live coverage of your events on radio and social media, video and photo coverages feature on magazines, photo books, and others, news coverage of political and other events. Take this offer and receive a complete coverage. For more information, call or WhatsApp 08065796599 or you visit EBEONADI 103.5 FM Ogidi opposite Ogunike Boys inside the Ohin Residency Hotel Ogidi. Vacancy. Are you a DJ? Do you speak English and Igbo language fluently? Submit your CV and the letter of application at EBEONADI 103.5 FM Ogidi, opposite Omunike Boys, inside Residency Hotel Biofil Ogidi, on or before Friday, 15th of November 2024.
Ogidi Kwenu, Ndogidi Kwenu, Adogidi Beauty Show is here again. Adogidi 2024. Nauna makweba pole na keep azwa. Ija wele, are you up to 18 and above? Register now and win up to 1 million naira. Ebonwa Muluno Gidi land or Wadiana. Come and represent your heritage where beauty, brain, and culture blends, empowering the women, enhancing excellence, beauty with a purpose, supporting education, and securing a future. For forms and inquiries, please call or WhatsApp 080-6329-0766 or 090-13566-263. Social media platforms at Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook at Adogidi Beauty Pageant. Forms are available at all residency hotels nationwide. And the deadline for the registration is on the 10th of December 2024. Adogidi Beauty Pageant Show. Don't miss out. Arise. Kunye. Residency Hotels Leofino Ogidi. Ogidi's #1 place for all type of events. Burunia Dewa from corporate to social gathering or any type of parties, even end of year parties on the club. We have air-conditioned hall and outdoor space of a very good capacity. When Nediano come, let us celebrate your event in style. Residency Hotel Leofino Gidi. If you are somebody with a zibote taste, when Emmanuel back in the I want delicious meals, drinks, and spirits brewed in different parts of the world. For booking, call 081 45 678901. One more. Come, let's make your event come through the way it's dream or your plan of wire. Residency Hotels Leofino Gidi or Gidi's best place for premium events. Ask for an amount of it.
EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Napapoa Production. When I was telling you, DJ radio drama, there we go. ATJ radio drama, Ebico, Ghana Dialogue, every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. Repeat broadcast on Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Now, EBEONADI 103.5 FM.
If you move by finish your business,
Amara ni le ngadi la amu. Ko kuna kana na na ko na ni ko na ye. Nke ka ku ja wala ala ma mu kuna ya ma wale ni.
Ekokwana ka call dinka call.
Oge ndị ime ahịa. Oge ndị ime ahịa bụ nnekwu ohere ewepụtara maka ịkwalite ebe ife mmetụ aka gị ma ụlọ azụmahịa gị. Mara na ihe dị mma n'anya bụ nwanne. Kedu uru oge ndị ime ahịa ga-abara gị?
Uru oge ndị ime ahịa ga-abara gị bụ site n'oge ndị ime ahịa, ị ga-enweta nnukwu ohere akpọrọ diskaụnt n'ọnụ bekee maka ịkwalite ebe azụmahịa gị. Mara na ya bụ ohere ga-amalite mgbe ọbụla ebe ọ na-adị wuchiri kpọmkwem n'ime ahịa.
Kedụzi ihe ị na-eche? Gbapụ ya ọsọ kpọtụrụ ndị 103.5 FM na akara ekwentị ndị a na 080-657-96599 ọzọkwa na 080-657-96599. Oge ndị ime ahịa, oge nnekwu ohere.
Tighten your seatbelt as we take.
Okay, guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share right to the subscribe button back here. You rock. Thank you.